hang on a sec. I love that says recording in progress, and then one of the options is leave the meeting. Oh my God, get out of here.
It's like, we're not doing this. Okay. Okay, here we are with Representative Patricia Duffy, who is going to tell us that a new session has begun in Boston. And later on this year or in the spring, I'm actually going to be visiting you as you walk the halls and do whatever it is that you all do. All the magic that's done there, all the rapids that are pulled out of hats, that sort of thing.
Exactly. I can't wait for you to bring Holyoke with you to the State House.
It'll be my pleasure. Thank you very much, Representative. What is going on now in this new session? Because I know that they're 19-month sessions.
Yes, that is exactly right. We are at the kind of the beginning of month 3, March. And so one of the first things that we did in January when we were sworn in, which is it's a very moving ceremony. And so 2 years ago was my first time, and it was just the new reps. There was nobody else there because we were hardcore pandemic at the time. So we were all there, and it was Governor Baker at the moment. He went up and read our oath, and I solemnly swear to protect the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. You say these solemn words. Of course I was moved the first time, but I was so moved, and I'm looking around, and where I sit, I've got all these like old veterans around me. Everybody was just like eyes full. And
why do you think that was going on, everybody?
I think it always happens, but it was especially poignant because we were all back. And when it's over, people turn to you, and it's almost like the sign of peace at church. Everybody's like, congratulations. I sit next to Lindsay Sabadosa, and we hugged, and it was.
She's the rep from Hampshire County people.
Yes, Northampton. Yes, the Northampton State Rep, Lindsay Sabadosa. Yes, thank you. So that was incredible. And then one of the first things we did was we, as the House of Representatives, our chamber, we voted to end remote voting. So we are back. We are back in. And it feels great. It feels great. Now I'm back to like going into the State House once or twice a week. It is rocking. The People's House is open. Anybody who wants to come to the State House, just get in touch with me or my wonderful legislative aide, Ward 6 City Councilor 1, Anderson Burgos. And we would love to host you and give you the heads up on like what's a good day to come. Yeah. Like Mondays and Fridays, most of us are back in our districts. So those aren't always.
We already chose a date, right? Sometime.
Yes. So Natalia coming in on Tuesday, April 25th. And I have that date is right here because I told her a good week to come is, and all of you can note this, the last week in April is always when we hold the House budget debates. So we're all going to be in there. And that's when we're going to be doing that. So it's going to be there's going to be stuff going on. Everybody's going to be in, it's going to be great.
Okay.
So
food and refreshments.
Oh, always.
Does the State House have a cafeteria?
It has a little cafe, and then we're right across a plaza from what's called Ashburton Place, and that's what like the the governor, the treasurer, the Secretary of State, the auditor, they all have executive offices in the State House with us, the legislature, but really they have like hundreds of people on their staffs, and they all work in Ashburton Place. There's actually a very nice cafeteria.
Oh, good.
At the on the bottom floor of Ashburton Place, where salad bar, like you get this great salad bar for like $5.
What's missing are really good cafeterias. The one you go with the tray and you get the lemon meringue pie, the meatloaf, the mashed potatoes. You
Yes, what did those used to be called?
know, cafeterias,
The cafeterias, but they had there was some other like great,
commissaries.
yeah, commissary. There were some other great 60s names for them.
Yes, yes.
Yes, yeah.
Let's
All
bring the
right. All
60s
right,
back.
all
Okay.
right, restaurant owners. Get with it. Get with it.
Okay, so then what
Um,
else is happening in the legislature?
so we're back in. We've all we've filed our legislation that we're going to be pushing for this session. So I'll give you a couple of the highlights for myself, but I also want to say first
Oh,
um,
mystery.
what committees I've been assigned to.
Oh, what committees have you been assigned to?
Oh, excited. So from last session, I was on the Joint Committee of Healthcare Financing and the Joint Committee of Higher Education, which I feel as the rep from Holyoke, to be advocating for the Holyoke Medical Center and Holyoke Community College. Those are really important for the rep for Holyoke to be on.
Yes.
So I had as we all do, I had a meeting with the speaker in the fall, and I was like, that's my big ask, that I get to stay on those two committees, and I got those. But I was also assigned to the Committee on Ways and Means.
Oh,
So I'm very
you hold the
excited.
purse
I
strings.
really
Oh
am
my God, your
excited.
mommy, can I have $5 to go to the movies? All right.
Exactly how that works. No, I'm really excited.
That is really
I
great.
feel like it was a demonstration of respect, and
Yeah.
I'm very, very excited about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so
So
for people who really don't know, House
yes,
Ways and Means, really anybody who's asking for money, it goes through your committee then.
that is correct.
And then how does that work?
The two most important functions of House Ways and Means is one is happening right now. So the governor has put out a budget proposal, which is, great and interesting and important for us all to read. But what people often don't realize is the governor's budget proposal is just that. It's just a proposal. The fiscal year budget comes from the House, and it starts in House Ways and Means, and then the Senate does their very important work on it as well. But money matters start in the House, and they start in House Ways and Means. So I get to go to all these budget hearings as a member of the committee. So the first one was yesterday, actually, where the governor came and talked about her budget proposal. And then there's going to be a budget hearing this coming Monday at UMass, covering the topics of education, including higher education, public higher education, and local aid. Two really crucial areas. Yeah. So I'm excited. I'll be spending the Monday up at UMass. I'm excited about that. And then there's various other hearings.
Well, then it's like congratulations to all of us that you've been appointed to these committees.
And I am excited. It's not, there are other folks in the committee and other important voices, but
I have a question. I have a question, not to be a Debbie Downer, but the role of lobbyists in the State House, is it as awful as we read about as it is in Washington, D.C.?
Well, I can't speak to Washington, D.C. So here's the deal with lobbyists. People sometimes forget that what lobbyists are lobbying for can be beautiful things. Like teachers have lobbyists, and museums have lobbyists, and I have worked a lot with a group called the Charles Group, and they're working with mass fair housing and mass mentoring. So yes, they lobbyists have influence, and you have to always think about who you're talking to and making sure you're not only talking to lobbyists. You always have to balance who you're talking to. I think on my level, frankly, there's not as much money involved in my campaign. Just anybody as a state rep, we're not talking about.
I guess if you're a federal person, like a senator or a congressperson, that's where like the big money is in terms of, the stock market stuff and products coming in and out of this country and
Yep.
where
Yeah,
to
it's
go
a,
for
it's just,
gas.
it's a whole other
Yeah.
level.
Yeah.
And, you know, we've got like our representatives on the federal level who I respect. You know, we've got Richard Neal, we've got Jim McGovern. I respect those guys that they're in there fighting for us. You know, we have the evidence.
Western Mass is well represented in Boston and in Washington, D.C.
I could not agree more. I feel, you know, we are lucky out here. I mean, I know it's good. We need it because the Boston, you know, people think Massachusetts, including people who live in Massachusetts, they think Massachusetts and they think Metro Boston. So we need to be well represented.
Like,
we are.
Something out there. There's something
I
with
mean,
cows
they really are.
really
There is the impression that you know, there's Worcester and then the Berkshires in New York State.
Oh wow.
You definitely have to remind people.
Yeah.
Well, and where that becomes more of a challenge is that, you know, we've got housing struggles here, of course. But, you know, Metro Boston is one of the most expensive places to live in the country.
Oh my goodness, yes.
And so a lot of times when they're talking about, you know, like, well, we need to do this, that, and the other thing, and we out here in the Pioneer Valley are like, hey, I mean, we don't have the same, this is not to the same scale. Like, you know, this solution that you see is not going to work for us. That's where it, you know, that's where
representation is also so important, to give reality checks to.
Exactly.
This is everywhere. This is not a Massachusetts problem. In New York, people in rural New York think that the only people who count are Manhattan people.
Yeah, and you know, we can all relate to that. We understand why they feel that way. Yeah. Well said. Well said.
Well, thank you very much, Rep. I always enjoy speaking with you. I look forward to going with my camera and following you around and asking you questions and going to the commissary or the cafeteria or Ashburton Place and having a good hot meal. You said salad earlier. I don't want salad.
Okay, well, they've got they'll have like, they've got like the, you know, the grinders and the, like, the mac and cheese. They got, well, nice lunch. Nice lunch. Great.
Okay. Thank you so much, Representative.
Thank you. Always.